This video is brought to you by VolunteerAudio.com, your #1 source for all things Harley Davidson audio. From individual radios, speakers, and amps to complete plug-and-play amp and speaker systems, we've got you covered. And once you've ordered your package from Volunteer Audio, it includes lifetime tech support. And we have the very best step-by-step installation video so you can install it yourself and save money. Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. And check out this 2023 Street Glide. This is Baja Orange, and it's beautiful. Here in Tennessee, we're gonna call it Tennessee Orange. But I've got a huge install. We're doing one of our most common Hertz 4-speaker installs. All right, so this is one of our most popular packages because it answers all the concerns we normally have with our factory system. This thing is extremely loud and extremely clear. So now you're gonna be able to hear it no matter how fast you're going, no matter what windshield or what style helmet you wear. Let's go over what's in the kit. So first off, it's gonna have these very, very loud Hertz SPL SX165Neos 6.5 Fenderian, the 6x9s in the lids. We're also using the new Hertz cutting kits. These things are awesome. Everybody loves the new look. That's gonna add the 6x9s to our lids. And we're gonna power it all with the Hertz SP4.900. This is one of the most powerful amps you can put in your Harley. It's 1,000 watt RMS and 2,000 watts peak. And all that power is gonna make it just as loud and clear as you've ever wanted your system. Now, we're also gonna make it sound better because no factory radio sounds as good as it should by putting the Soundstream Reserve HDHU.14Si radio. That's the latest from Soundstream and the best radio you can put in your bike. To cap it all off, we're gonna make it sound even better by taking those factory speaker enclosures and making them an even better enclosure, wrapping them in SoundSkin's sound deadening material. So all of this is available at VolunteerAudio.com in a complete plug-and-play package. Harnessing is already built by us to simply plug in at the radio. Power and ground is already built, so you run that from your battery up to your amp. Everything about this is simple and thought out. And if you want the step-by-step video of this install, we're not going to do a full step-by-step today, but we have all of them already made at VolunteerAudio.com. Let's go to the top of the page, click the menu, and look for step-by-step install videos. We have them for Street Glide and Road Glide, 14 and newer, and 98 to 13. So go there to see just how easy this is to put in step-by-step. Also, once you've bought it, you can go through those videos to help you with the install, or you can call our tech team with any technical questions at 1-844-30-AUDIO. We do all the hard work so you can do this yourself and save a bunch of money in labor. The amps are even completely preset, meaning we set the amp gains and the amp filters. Every amp is powered up, every radio is powered up, they're all set to perfection and then shipped to you. Enough talking, let's get to this bike and get it put together. All right, so I know a lot of you are scared to take your brand new bike and cut holes in the lids, but as you've probably just seen through the highlight, we tape off the lid, we put our template in place, we screw it down, and we follow the line that Hertz gives us. By doing that, we don't have to worry about damaging the paint, we don't have to worry about messing up. And if you've got basic hand tool skills, such as the ability to use a jigsaw, you can do this yourself. We do it over and over here at Volunteer Audio, and I think there's just no better way to put a speaker in your lid. The other alternative is to buy an expensive pre-painted lid, and even when they're not expensive, they fit like garbage. The speakers are terribly the way they fit in, the angle in which they're placed, the amount of room they take up. Most of your aftermarket lids from the big companies are going to have a spacer that spaces your 6x9 very low into the bag and fires it straight up. With this kit, our 6x9 is going to be angled toward the rider for better sound, higher so it uses up less bag space, and with all the gasketing that's included with these, much, much more watertight than the aftermarket lids. So if you've got a question about can you do this, I'm telling you can. If you watch it and you say, I can't use tools at all, ship us your lids. We can do it here at Volunteer Audio. We can ship them back, or you can come in, just like Dennis did with this bike, and let us do the whole install. All right, so let's talk about speakers for a minute and why we're going through the trouble we are to wrap them and pull them out and change them. So first off, this speaker is terrible. It's extremely cheaply built, has almost no magnet. The suspension on it is built for efficiency, not for bass and loud output. So here's what it looks like in the original pod, and here is what it looks like after we have wrapped that pod with sound skins. There's also some of this material inside. Stops some resonation of the pod, also allows more of the sound to come forward instead of into the fairing. And once that fairing's back on, it actually fits pretty tight so we don't get any vibration or rattles out of it. Our new speaker from Hertz is a much larger cone. If you notice, there's quite a bit more surface area to it. It's actually a 6.5 instead of a 5 1/4. Got a bigger tweeter. It's all waterproof, built for Harley, direct drop-in, but it has an extremely strong neodymium magnet, meaning it's going to take that power from our big amp and convert it into some beautiful music. All right, so we get this question all the time. Why would I take out a brand new 2023 model radio, the GTS radio, and put the Soundstream Reserve HDHU.14Si in place? What are the benefits? Why would you go through and do this? First off, I'll tell you, this radio used is worth really close to the cost of this radio new, so it's almost a direct swap as far as dollars go. But what we're going to gain is a much better sounding radio. I've never had a factory radio that had a clean output to full volume, much less a 13-band EQ like the Soundstream Reserve radio has. We're going to get faster boot times. We're going to get Apple CarPlay without the need to connect a headset. We don't have to flash the radio to make it sound good with a system, and it also doesn't have an EQ that changes when the bike's running. So many benefits to the Soundstream radio. Another one, if I properly flash this radio, I'm going to lose fader. If I use the Soundstream, we still have fader ability, so we can fade front and rear. So many advantages sound-wise. Again, if we flash this radio, we have bass and treble adjustment that's almost non-existent. The bass only adds distortion, so there's really no use in using it. And the treble doesn't do enough to really make us happy. So on the 13 band that's in the Soundstream radio, we can actually pick which part of the treble range we want to attenuate. Or maybe we want to bring the mid up or the bass up. We could do that in this radio, and we have a very good EQ to tune it into our liking. So as far as sound goes, and then we get into the other options that this radio can't do. With the SI, we have custom gauges. We have 0 to 60 times, quarter-mile times, what we call track pack gauges, along with any sensor that can be read on the data lines by Harley's text computer. We can show that on the radio as well. So better diagnostic capability, better gauge capability, and much, much better sound, all without really spending any money if you sell this to somebody that hasn't got on board to the Soundstream radios yet. All right, so we've got our bike put all back together, full audio install is done, but the first thing we do before we take a listen to it is we power it up, make sure we have a little bit of sound, and we play our Volunteer Audio polarity test track. Just gives us some little pops, and we test and we see if we're in phase. So in this case, we're getting 3 green flashes and a red. Now I'm talking so it'll throw it off some in the front. I've already checked both sides. In the back, I'm getting 3 reds and a green. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our rear speakers, we're going to take our positive and negative wires, and we're going to swap it so that our speakers are working together. It's going to give us better mid bass and more full sound. This is the third 23 I've done in the last couple of weeks that the front speakers were actually out of phase factory. So these are wired opposite from what we would expect to see. Normally this would all match exactly like it should, but maybe it's a new thing in 23, but no matter what, every install we check with a polarity tester, and more times than not we find something that we can fix to make it sound even better. All right, so to correct our phase issue, all we're going to do is pop each one of these little speaker wires off. I use a little screwdriver and I pry up to keep myself from breaking these this mount here that holds the wires. So we're going to take our positive now and we're going to put it on what it says is the negative and our negative on what it says is the positive, and that is going to correct that issue that we just saw with our phase tool. All right, so now we're going to listen to some music. I played copyright-free music. It's going to sound a lot better when you play your own music on it than even this, but I think you'll get the idea. It's going to be crystal clear, good highs, good bass, so let's check it out. All right, so I got Dennis with me and his beautiful bike. You know, we're Tennessee Vol fans. We got some things to be excited about here lately, and a lot better than it was for a little while. But with all that being said, we're going to listen to his bike, going to get his first reaction. But first, can you tell me what made you, number one, want to upgrade your audio? I mean, what was lacking on the original system, and then what made you possibly come to Volunteer Audio over anywhere else you could go?
Oh, well, that's easy. So, you know, I was riding down, I just had the Harley a few months. It's a 23 Street Glide special, factory radio, just the fairing speakers, and I could hear it fairly well. I'm not a guy that's just gonna blast all the time. Matter of fact, I would cruise up to the red light and I'm always cautious of who I'm sitting next to. Some people aren't, but I'm that guy, so I'm always toning it down. But as my wife started riding with me, I'd turn it up and I was enjoying the music. She basically said, I can't hear anything that's going on. It just sounds like distortion.
That's awesome. More times than not, we actually have a ton of women that call because they want to hear on their husband's bike. And we got a lot of women ride their own bike, don't get me wrong, but more times than not, you wouldn't think of it. The passenger's calling saying, we need to upgrade the radio on that bike.
I can believe it. She said, you've got to do something to help me. And I said, well, yeah. I said, I really like the looks of this, you know, the CVO speakers, and Harley had this Rockford Fosgate thing going on, and I started looking at that. And my cousin worked for a Harley dealership up here in Knoxville, and he's like, look, he said, you have to get on YouTube and look at this guy with Volunteer Audio. He goes, just do yourself a service. He goes, I've seen some bikes that he's done. It's really incredible. So I started looking and researching, and you know, I'm the kind of guy, if I'm going to spend that money, I want to get the best bang for the buck, but I'm looking for somebody that's going to give me personal service. And so I reached out to you because I'd saw your videos and I was so impressed. And I guess the Billy Lane video really just blew me away. And that video and watching his reaction and me watching him over the years, and then really, Jay, just getting to meet you, it's been a very personable service that I've enjoyed. That's why I'm so excited today.
Awesome. Well, that gives me another window of opportunity to talk here for just a second. If you want to give us a call at 1-844-30-AUDIO, we'd love to speak with you. We do have live people who are extremely knowledgeable that would love to discuss your system, your budget, the genre of music you listen to, and all the options we have. We can build you that plug-and-play system you can put in yourself, or we can set up an appointment for you to come in, and just like Dennis did, we can get together, check out your bike, make it beautiful, make it sound good, and now it's time to listen to it.
Oh, man,
Well, you ready?
I'm so excited.
All right, so let's check out and see what it sounds like. Oh, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb because one of y'all is going to call me right now. So we'll do that real quick first. All right.
Yeah, that's exhilarating.
Yeah, this thing is super loud. So we just listened. We actually went and picked up a new CVO Street Glide that Volunteer Audio is going to tear apart, figure out how to build systems like this for it. We were just listening to that factory system, and it seemed like it was somewhat loud, but I remember standing next to you telling you how that it wasn't what I thought it should be, and we were talking while it was up.
Yeah.
You can't talk over this.
No, there's no comparison.
Oh, and the clarity.
The clarity is incredible.
So the music, I got to give you a warning. This thing is so clear you can't tell quite how loud it is. So we want you while you're riding to get it louder than the wind, louder than the engine where you can hear it. But if you keep going up, you may damage your hearing. So get it loud enough. It'll handle way more. The speakers will go to full volume on this radio, no problem at all. And quick rundown again on what we did on it. This is the Soundstream Reserve HDHU.14Si. That's the latest radio from Soundstream. We took the GTS out, put this in because it's got so much better clarity and it's clean to full volume, and we've got good EQ adjustment. So many benefits: faster boot time, custom backgrounds, orange lighting on it, so many things that made it better than a stock radio, not to mention you can sell that stock radio and almost recoup what it costs. We wrapped the front speaker pods in sound skins. We did Hertz SX165Neos 6.5, Hertz SX690Neos 6x9s, and the new Hertz cutting kits, which I think look beautiful on this orange.
Gorgeous.
I love it. I love it on it. But all that powered off that huge Hertz SP4.900, 1,000 watt RMS, 2,000 watt peak amp, which is super clean. You can buy a bunch of different amps, but we want an amplifier that's not only powerful, but clean in output so we don't blow speakers. And we want something IPX rated so it's watertight, water sealed. It's gonna last you for years and years. We don't have to worry about you having problems. But you know, anytime that we're dealing with electronics, we can have issues. And I guarantee you 100%, Volunteer Audio does the best job of taking care of customers if there's a problem. I don't think you'll have one, but full 3-year warranty on everything that we've done here outside of the radio. It's 2-year. So I know it'll be riding around local. We'll be hearing you. Well, we may not. You may be cutting it down as we get near you at the red light.
If you're at the red light, I'll probably be toned down a little bit.
So another benefit of this radio that you're going to like is your factory radio did not have mute.
Right.
So we can be listening to it loud. Roll up to that red light. We can press in a button and we've got mute. Where we didn't have that before.
That's so loud, man.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
So loud.
It's crazy. You can feel it. You can feel it in the floor. You can feel it in you. I have hearing problems after listening to all these, and I still think they're loud. So, but thank you so much for watching. I'm glad Dennis brought us his bike. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a ton. It's been an awesome experience. I love this color. Go Vols. Definitely subscribe to Volunteer Audio's YouTube channel for more content like this. We're going to cover new products. We're going to show you how to install those new products and then how to properly use those products. So if you like Harley Audio and you want the best and know about the best, subscribe to our channel. Like this video. It does so much for us when you do that because it moves us up in the YouTube search standings. It allows everybody to find us when they're searching for audio, and we really appreciate you doing that. Comment below any questions you have. Maybe you just want to comment on how beautiful the bike is. A lot of times you're all going, what seat is that? What size bar is that? Well, maybe we can comment, answer those too if you ask those. But if you want to find out more about this audio, maybe you want us to do yours again, 1-844-30-AUDIO. That's how you're going to call and reach a live person that can help you. You can shoot us an email, but call us. It's always better. We want to talk to you. We want to go over all the things we just can't do properly in an email. Check out volunteeraudio.com to see all of our packages. And don't forget, we also offer financing. So I know it's that time of the year, a lot of you went on vacation, maybe you've got kids going back to school or something took some of your money. We do up to 2 years no interest financing through PayPal Credit or Affirm. So check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.